I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm a funny person.
One morning, I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got in my pajamas, I don't know.
Well, that's me, the Jewish Oprah.
And yes, there is shrimp in the egg rolls.
Hi, I'm Andrew Silow-Carroll of JTA, and I love Jewish jokes. Not just because they're funny, but because every Jewish joke tells a story about the Jews and the things that are important to them. Mrs. Cohen of Brooklyn goes to a travel agent. She says, I want to go to India. He says, Madam, India, why? It's so far away. It's hot, it's smelly, it's expensive. She says, I want to go to India. He says, all right, fine. Books her a flight, 16 hours in the air. She lands in New Delhi. She goes to a cab driver and she says, take me to the guru. He says, Madam, it's so far away. It's hot, smelly, the drive is terrible. She says, I want to see the guru. He says, okay, it's going to be expensive, but we'll do it. 16 hours. She gets to the great palace of the guru. She goes up to the person who's guarding the gate and says, I want to see the guru. She says, Madam, why? You don't look like you. Why would you do this? She goes, I want to see the guru. He goes, fine, get in line. Stands in a long line. Another 16 hours go by. She's approaching the guru, and there he is up on his crown, up on his throne. She says to the steward, I want to see the guru. He says, Madam, fine, but remember, 3 words only. You can only say 3 words to the guru. She says, I understand. Finally, she gets to stand in front of the guru. She looks up and she says, Sheldon, come home. What is this joke about? Probably comes from the mid-20th century, at a time when functional anti-Semitism is on the decline, and the threat from Christians appears less than it did to a community that was growing up feeling either persecuted or excluded from mainstream American society. But there's a new perceived threat, and remember, most humor is about the things that make us nervous or threatened. This new threat is that young Jews growing up in America, it's not that they're facing anti-Semitism, it's that they're being attracted to new ways of being religious. And one of those ways are Eastern religions like Hinduism and Buddhism. And there's some historical truth to this, that many of the most prominent American Buddhists of the late part of the 20th century were actually Jews by birth. Sometimes they call themselves Jew-boos. So Mrs. Cohen and the guru joke is about this. It's about the anxiety of a Jewish family whose son goes off to join a cult. Not only does he gets very good at it, he becomes the head of the whole cult. It's also about another thing, which is the name Sheldon. Sheldon is one of those classic Jewish names, and here's the rule if you wanted to give your son a classy Jewish name in the middle of the 20th century. English last names, Jewish first name. So, Sidney, Sheldon, Herman, Irving, English last names, Jewish first names. So there's a little bit about assimilation built into this joke, and you get the idea that maybe Mrs. Cohen, it was her own fault that she didn't give Sheldon the Jewish identity he should have had, which is why he was attracted to Buddhism in the first place. Third thing this joke is about, Jewish mothers. Whole range of Jewish mother jokes, we can all tell hundreds of them. In this one, the message is, you think you can escape your Jewish past, your tradition, your family, your home, but mom will always track you down. Even if it takes, going halfway across the world to do it. Mom will find you. Am I right? She agrees.